All right, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Let's see if everything's working. Hopefully you guys saw my report. This is starting to look more like a female than a male to me. I think that they put multiple people. Again, James Kaufman, World News Report today. Dr. Joey, how are you in the house? Today is December 6, 2024. It is right after 11 p.m. Central here in the U.S. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just did an update on the BS that the FBI and the New York Police Department is trying to feed us. They finally searched the park today. Searched the park today or yesterday after all those days. Turns out the perpetrator was on a New York City electric bike, and they all have iPad tags on them. They're all traceable. He also had to use a credit card to rent the bike. Now, the people they show at Starbucks, I don't think those people had anything to do with it. What I think that they did instead, see how dark this is not green. What I think they did instead is they sent multiple people into the area with similar clothing. This looks a lot, shoe size wise, etc., like a girl. This is an Hispanic man. They might be together. Also with a backpack. Strange in my opinion. Not the backpack that obviously the straps are not black, and that's not a blue backpack like the New York Police Department said they found in the park that belonged to the shooter, right? Huge cover up. Hopefully y'all saw my update on the shooting deal. I think they have 3 or 4 people in the same outfit, similar outfits. This looks like a female. I'm not going to lie to you. And that backpack is light colored, does not have black straps. If y'all watch the video I just did, the backpack that they say is the shooters that they found in the park, well, it has black straps on it. Just like the one with the guy and the girl at Starbucks. 2 totally different people with 2 totally different outfits on. It's crazy. So they're playing all sides to try to confuse everyone. I'm sure a lot of people were sent into the area in the same outfit. Again, he was on an e-bike, a New York City e-bike. He had to rent that with a credit card. So they know they could track the e-bike to exactly where it was. And here they know what camera took this picture, and they see him on the phone, so they can easily get a geofence, which they've already done if they want to know who he's talking to, and find out exactly who he's talking to, if that's even the shooter. It looks so petite, it could be a female. It really could be. No, whoever cleared the gun, they cleared it 3 times. There were 3 malfunctions with the gun, which, believe it or not, is more than normal when you put a suppressor on a gun that has not been tuned properly for a suppressor. Now, you would think a professional, although he did clear the stovepipes extremely fast, 3 of them, there were 3 unspent shells. And those 3 shells spell out a book's name, and I have the book included. The book is all about how insurance companies rip the public off. And I think everyone knows that. I think this was definitely a CIA situation, and they definitely know who the gunman is at this point. Not any of the pictures y'all have seen. I feel sorry if those are even real people, because I also showed y'all how easy these hypersonic masks are put on and how inexpensive they are. You can buy one for just about zilcho. And they even have one that looks just like the gentleman that supposedly was the hitman. This looks like a female, just so petite. But please watch the video I just put out. And I'll see if I can show y'all that video right here. It's this video. If y'all are an X-Watcher, I've got Hillary Clinton that I put in there, right? They could put anyone they want in there. Look at the backpack. It's black strapped. Different backpack. They're playing games with this. They show a backpack they found in the park. They said it's his. It's not his, that's for sure. If I can put Hillary Clinton in there, well, imagine what they can do, right? Imagine what they can do. Anyway, I wanted y'all to know that everything they're doing is to cover up what's really going on here. And, you know, time will tell. These things usually have to do with Hillary, so jokingly, 409 people have seen this in the last 10 minutes. Of course, YouTube won't give me any of that credit. Jokingly, well, it's that easy to put a face in that outfit. And the 2 outfits on the female and male they show are completely different outfits as well, if you want to really get into it. All right, let's get to our volcano, earthquake, and more report. All right, we're going to start out with volcanoes. I believe we're up to 73 volcanoes yesterday. Is that correct, guys? It's hard for me to remember. I've got a lot on my mind. If Miss Donna wants to email me, I can't answer you in any of the chats. I told you that. You and Vivian, I can't answer. They won't let me answer y'all. So I don't know. Y'all must be smart cookies, and they don't want us to get together and be smarter. But email me at worldnewsreporttoday@gmail.com. Give me your email. I'll give you all the numbers you want, all the information I have. I definitely want y'all to watch that video all the way to the end, because they're really playing games with us. Now remember, the crazy part is they can track those e-bikes in real time, and they've got a kid on Twitter, and he tracked that e-bike in real time. Now the kid's probably gonna get in trouble. I mean, in big trouble. But he has the software, and he created it to track that e-bike. Watch this. He knows exactly which e-bike it was, where it was picked up, what time it was picked up. Here he is, right here. I don't want to show the kid off that much, because he knows where the e-bike was picked up. He knows where it went. He saw it go to the crime scene. He's got all the data, and it's not readily available. Here is the e-bike. right here. And this kid has got it all, man. If y'all want to listen to him, we'll quickly listen to him. I didn't put this. I wonder why it's not playing there. Look, I guess it just talks. This might not be the original. I was able to find the original of this kid. He said it was an e-bike like crazy. I can track them real time. Well, so can the city. So can the city. He's got them all right here. And he shows you what e-bike is where. And as it moves around, he can track them on his computer. I really hate to show that kid. I really, really do. There he is again, getting himself in deeper trouble here. But these are the e-bikes, and they're easily trackable, and that's what he was on. So, let's get back to volcanoes, earthquakes, and what's going on around the world. Get off that dam. Did y'all hear the news guest on CNN that said he planned his own murder? You don't plan your own murder if you're making $10 million a year in salary plus stock options. Okay, you don't plan your own murder. You take it to court. If it was antitrust, it was because the government gave them all of their health care plus Medicare and Medicaid. If that's what he was worried about, if he's worried about the hack, what a stupid person that was. The hack was not on him. Maybe he could have gotten fired, but you know what? He's been there 21 years, been making $10 million for several years plus stock options for 21 years. Trust me, he had nothing to do with it. Just someone saying that, you know that they were put in as a plant. That was one of my videos. Put in as a plant to screw up, and there were so many people that agreed with him. I was like, you people are fucking ignorant. All right, let me move on. If I can, ignorance is bliss. I'm going to count how many volcanoes are erupting currently around the globe. Of course, there's nothing happening in Canada or the US. Maybe here on the Alaskan Peninsula. And y'all tell me at the end, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? We say Tiffany Hartman. We say Teresa. We say Stove. Donna. Why don't you email? Okay, you email me. I will get back to you with every number. I even have the sheriff himself's number, and I've been texting with him. And I mean, there's nothing I can do from here. I don't know where San Sabo County is. More or less, ever been there. I'm sure they have my phone under wraps, which is fine because I haven't left my house except for to the grocery store and to the deli in 3 weeks. So, well, I went to Kendra Scott to buy my daughter some gifts for Christmas, but that was it. All right, a great gift idea for folks right now that don't want to spend a lot. $150 necklaces are on sale for $2 for $80. So I got several. We'll just put it like that, several. And they have real stones in them. They have all the birthstones plus other stones. Now, if you go into the real gold and silver, it's going to be more than that. This is gold plated and real silver, I guess. But $2 for $80 are regularly $110 to $150. Costume jewelry, if you will. But they come in these awesome little yellow boxes, and the group between about 11 and 14 love them, and we might have to move up to like a Tiffany's, although Tiffany's is just out of hand with their prices lately. All right, I'll get to counting, y'all get to guessing. $32 up to there. I think that's the highest I've ever been. $50. 60. $70. Now, that's my best count, is 70, guys. I think we had 73, which I might have miscounted. But we're going to go with 70 tonight. We're in those numbers. Let's hope we head to 77 for Jerome, because that's the number he wanted. He said that when we hit 77, it was all over. He also said if he goes, we only have weeks to live. Well, you know what? Damascus is falling probably by tomorrow, the next day. If y'all watch my video, they took over Hamas, which is a city. They took over Hans, which is a huge city, and the airport. They took over Aleppo. And by they, I mean Turkey, NATO forces that have Al-Qaeda backings, i.e. all of U.S. and NATO Western backings. Of course, who else would be going after Syria? What I didn't know about Syria, is it's considered a hotbed for Christians. There's 250,000 Christians in Homs, and these jihadists, well, let's just say all the Christians are fleeing on foot right now, and the ones that they have, I have some video that, I mean, they blurted out, thank God, at the end, as they scream infidel and take their you-know-what off. It's unbelievable. 250,000 Christians are in Syria, in Homs. Homs, it's in my report. Look at this. Everyone said, well, we do have a new one up here. This is in a volcanic area. Everyone said, this isn't the one guy. God, I hate know-it-alls. They're always wrong. This isn't the Cascadia subduction zone. It's the slip fault. I'm thinking, well, then why is the north part rocking too, you idiot? 10 kilometers at 3.5. That's the default depth. These are all today. A big one here, a 4.5. Default depth 10 kilometers. Northern part of the Cascadia subduction zone. We're about to look at it. It's gotten really crazy. It had about 180 earthquakes within 24 hours. I think that number has come down. Some a-hole. All he wanted to do was argue with me. All I did was erase all my argument with him and move on. After I found out he had an associate's degree in geoscience, I figured he was far superior in knowing. He argues with me that it's not right on the one difficult plate boundary, but we'll take a look at that in a second, right? So we're seeing activity here. This is the one difficult plate. The activity we're seeing here is where the plate comes off and meets the North American plate boundary, Pacific plate boundary, and the Juan de Fuca plate. And this is the Juan de Fuca plate as it moves its way north. This is this is the plate boundary here that you're seeing all the movement on. What is it doing? It's being pushed under the North American plate, pushing magma to the surface of places like Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Mount Adams, Mount Hood, probably Snake River Caldera, probably Craters of the Moon, probably Yellowstone. We saw how much activity Yellowstone had yesterday. It's probably the most I've ever seen Yellowstone have. I guess I have to make this smaller to close it. All right, we're going to start with more. And I hope y'all go back and check that New York City Police and FBI are messing with this, because I call out several things that are inconsistent. Really, I think that this was a big operation. I didn't realize that. First off, he doesn't live in New York City. I thought he was. Guess where he's from? Minnesota. He was staying at another hotel, but he was one of the guest speakers at the conference at the Hilton. The breakfast and then conference at the Hilton. So they had followed him all the way from Minnesota to the morning conference there. Some supposedly crime expert said, yes, I think he paid someone to take himself out for insurance. So he looked good going out. I'm thinking, the guy's got $10 million a year plus stock options. Yeah, let's say they get him for insider trading. He's running, they can't get him for antitrust because they gave him all the jobs. It's all the U.S. government healthcare insurance, the biggest employer in the world. Then it's all the Medicare, A, B, C, and GAP. So that's what makes him the biggest monopoly insurer in the world, the government's actual contracts. How are they going to then go in and sue him for antitrust? It's all lies. The reason he stole the chairman and the CFO are the only three that sold options worth over $110 million on the 12th, the same day they briefed Congress. That's when Nancy made her first purchase in, Palo Alto, who took over the investigation, who always takes over all the Democratic investigations. It's kind of like with the FBI, where investigations go to die. I mean, they don't solve anything. They just go to die there. 5-1 over. Tonga here. Not a lot of big quakes around today. Not like yesterday. We should see some more quakes. I'm going to put them all on when that moon lines up here. Now, we have our biggest caldera on the planet here with a big swarm to the north. We have been seeing the swarm to the north constantly. Now, you guys are smart enough to realize that a plate boundary is much more important than a fault, right? And when a plate boundary moves, it's much more a big deal than a fault moving, right? Let's hope y'all do. I was so tired of arguing with these people. Someone said, y'all quit arguing. I said, I'm not arguing. I'm erasing everything, and he can just keep arguing with himself. I think he's still over on that page on Facebook, still arguing with himself. All right, so there's not even a lot of action here in the Aegean Sea, as we've seen, and no action here on this. Compared to yesterday, this is just nothing is going on. We have this big swarm right here, biggest caldera on the planet. We've got some stuff here in the Himalayan mountains. We've got some stuff down here in Laos, Burma, and of course, all the magma movement around all these volcanoes. If everything in yellow that's awakening woke up, well, we'd be right to 77. Remember, every bump right here is a volcano. This is a volcanic range. This is a volcanic range. This is a volcanic range. This is Japan, a bunch of dumbos that have more nuclear power plants than any other country, even the U.S. But look how small the country is. Look, this is right where they built it. I mean, they couldn't have built it any closer to this. I already showed y'all the new plant going on here, and there's already one operating right here. But look, you got one volcanic ridge, two volcanic ridges going in, three right here. This is a volcanic island. You haven't even cleared Fukushima up yet. There's no plate connection here. There's no plate connection here either. So this is the USGS says there's more tension on these four plates right here. Pacific plate, believe it or not, North American plate, Eurasia plate, Indonesian plate here. They're all pushing the same direction. I could show y'all plates with arrows, but all the arrows are going in, and they're building nuclear plants as fast as they can over in Japan. I really, really thought the Japanese people were smart. I'm not going to lie to you. I really did. I have some friends that are Japanese, and look at that swarm we're about to go into up there. Those are those two quakes that we just went over. They don't show up on the USGS at 3.5 and 4.5, but I did want to show y'all. Let me make sure I put my, my things are on. So let me just get to the right portion so I can show y'all over here. Y'all can see they're right on the plate tectonic boundary. I wish that guy was watching, but he was a know-it-all. He doesn't even know that you have to go to Canada to see the Canadian, although they did share these two. If that's not right on the Pacific plate boundary and the Juan de Fuca plate, and if that's not on the joint where the Pacific plate boundary meets the Juan de Fuca meets the North American plate boundary, then y'all might as well name me king. Anyway, he told me I was dead wrong and this, that, and the other thing. It was laughable. I said, okay. I said, I see here you have an associate's degree, which is 6 hours of seismology. I did that today. All right. We can see Kilauea is awakening. We did have some film. Looks pretty quiet, but we do have magma movement under Kilauea. Tonga is awakening. We actually have to move all the way over here. We'll first talk about all the volcanoes going off in Central America, which is part of North America, and all the magma movement under that. See, that's a volcano there. All the magma movement under that. That's Mexico City there. And the PM 2.5 being expelled by these volcanoes, which is the biggest source, I read yesterday, the biggest source of PM 2.5 and carbon dioxide, the biggest source. So when they find it in the rocks, like in the Grand Canyon that goes back tens of millions of years, they know that there was a volcanic, years of volcanic eruptions, depending on how thick the coat of ash and the carbon monoxide and PM 2.5 in the rock is. They've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. Y'all can see this in New Madrid and Cooler, Missouri at 2.21 kilometer depth. That thing's about to pop open. This is called our Peruvian-Chilean wedge. There's two erupting here, one major, one minor. There's a swarm here. And I will say there's 27,000 active volcanic cones in this area. I can't believe that we have as few. We have 4 erupting, 2 awakening here in this area, which is really the central part of the cone. Now, Bolivia owns part of this park, and so does Argentina, but they don't own any Pacific whatsoever. Peru owns it to here. And Chile owns all of this all the way down, and really all the way around to here, Chile owns it. So Argentina and Bolivia got their ass kicked. Bolivia is now landlocked. At least Argentina has some Atlantic Ocean, but they don't even have the Cape Horn down here. They got their ass whipped. I'm surprised that Chile didn't take more land than the coast, especially since it's one big volcanic park. The biggest earthquake ever to be recorded in our history is a 9.6, happened right where these two plates meet. It was the second deadliest, with about just over 120,000 people died. Haiti being by far the deadliest, with about 325,000 to 350,000 people died. And that's when the Clintons get involved with their initiatives, right? They use U.S. government money and siphon it off into their salaries. That's all an initiative means for them. Gotta hate those people. Isn't that fun how we got her face in that hood? I did put that I altered it. When y'all see that I said that I've altered something, I do that to try to stay on the right side of YouTube because they're very strict and there's a new button. If they find, even if I didn't alter it, let's say one of the UFO videos I showed y'all tonight, if y'all saw that video, was altered, and they could prove that it was altered, then they would give me a strike if I didn't mark the button. So sometimes, even if I don't think anything's altered, I'm going to go ahead and mark that button, right? So the only thing that was altered on that last video was Hillary Clinton's face. And don't tell me she's not a public figure tomorrow either, YouTube. They told me that I couldn't talk about John Brennan because I had him cold busted and a bunch of lies because he was not a public face. I said, sure he is. He's a CNN commentator. And so we argued back and forth, and you know who's in charge? Person that owns the companies, right? Look at New Zealand here, Zealandia rising here, all the magma movement around Zealandia. This light blue area is what they're trying to call their continental shelf. Land grab for the billions, if not more, maybe trillions of dollars worth of natural gas and other oil and other natural resources here. I mean, that light blue area is 10 times bigger than their island. The real problem is New Zealand's not a continent, so how can it have a continental shelf? And that is New Caledonia, if y'all can see it right there, another country. This is going to be Fiji, Tonga up here. They're going off, one full, one in minor. And we can see here Hawaii is connected with volcanoes all the way from the Russian Peninsula with, see what's going on the Russian Peninsula. Lots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volcanoes right here on the Russian Peninsula. That's all part of Russia. That's right. And you know what? This might be the end. Y'all see that I knew that they had already sacrificed the heifers, and I did show y'all a picture. If y'all want me to show y'all another one right now, I will. They built the temple already. They sacrificed the heifers. Damascus hadn't fallen. So all of a sudden, Turkey, a UN country, turns into some kind of jihadists. And so you have Sunni rebels, Sunni Islamic rebels, jihadists that are all actually nicer group than the Shiites, like Iran and Syria, go after to take out Syria. Russia bombed a key bridge, so the HTS, which is the brand of the Al-Qaeda, I'm sure it's a U.S. brand of the Al-Qaeda, couldn't get over in 2 Hans, but I think they'll be there anyway. What's a bridge? And there's no ground forces. All the ground forces have retreated to Damascus to try to defend the capital. Now, Russia is on their side, but Russia's busy. There might be a peace deal, from what I understand, tonight with the Ukraine and Russia. And guess what? Guess what? Zelensky is going to be given millions of dollars, and he wants to move to the United Kingdom. I'm like, what? You keep him right there. They're having a presidential election as well if this peace deal goes through. Boy, I want to know what happened to the $230 billion of U.S. taxpayers' money, and I'm sure $100 billion of Western Europeans' tax dollars, right? Where's the $350 billion of money? I didn't see anything that cost a lot of money. Those drone boats were 50 grand. I mean, the whole thing stinks to high heck. All right, over to the USBS. We can see Mount Spur and Mount Hayes are actually starting to act up, and I'm expecting Spur to go first, Hayes to go second. They have both erupted. Y'all know about my story, Pat Price, the remote viewer. He told his supervisor at the CIA that there were aliens working with U.S. military and under Mount Hayes. And then he told his family they were going to kill him, and then he died 3 days later after being poked at the Las Vegas airport. Don't get poked, people. Don't get poked. Trust me. Trust me in that. So Spur looks like it's going to go off. And remember, 50%. Is this going to be Anchorage? It's not even Anchorage. That's an Air Force base. Anchorage is this little bitty spot. You can't even see it. It's this little bitty spot right here. 50% of all the people that live in Alaska live in that little spot right there. Not in Juneau, the capital. It's down up in here. 50% of all the people live right there. Do y'all know that 90% of every person on Earth lives above 30 degrees latitude or higher, right through here. It's probably a little bit lower, right through here. So 90% of everyone on Earth, for whatever reason, I think Earth might be flat. I'm starting to really think that way. I mean, that sounds insane from me, right? But if 90% of the people live at 30 degrees latitude or higher, it's starting to make perfect sense. And all the UN maps, although Antarctica is supposed to be a landmass, whereas the Arctic is not, it's supposed to be ice, right? They don't show it on any of the UN maps. Antarctica, that is. All right, let's zoom in. Oh, lordy, Lord. Tell me, is this right where the Wonderfico plate meets the North American plate here, meets the Pacific plate here? No, this has nothing to do with movement, or I was told it had nothing to do with Cascadia. He's like, no, man, I have an associate's degree. I've got an associate's degree in geophysics, and this is a slip joint. That's why there was no tsunami. And then I pointed out, well, there was a 12-centimeter tsunami. Boy, that made him mad. He's been talking about it for 2 days. I almost had to erase my whole post on the Facebook page. He's just obsessive. The ladies were like, we love this information. Why are you yelling at him? I'm like, I'm not yelling at anybody, ma'am. I'm just trying to get out of here. He had to be from California because he was triggered. It was kind of fun to trigger him, I won't lie. So easily triggered, right? So easily triggered. All right, let's guess. It was up to 180. Let's guess. I'm going to let y'all guess real quick. How many have occurred here where we have our North American plate boundary, which is what this is, also known as the San Andreas. This is our Pacific plate here, the Wonderfico plate here. I know most of you guys know the deal because y'all been around long enough. How many? We're going to count these on ground because obviously this is part of what's going on, and Yellowstone looks ugly. Does anyone want to take a guess? 77 tip? I think it's going to be higher than that. I think it's going to be, I don't even know. I'm going to say 127. If I get it right, I'm funneling Jerome. Does anyone else want to guess? All right. Let's take a look. Dr. Joy, probably a good guess. Your guesses count for another minute because it takes about a minute for it to get there. 110. It's like James Kaufman has funneled Jerome and won. I call that funneling Jerome. I was way off though, right? 17 off. All right. We've got some other things to look at here. What is amazing is nothing out of Rainier, nothing out of St. Helens, nothing out of Adams, nothing out of Hood. But we do have something going on in Yellowstone here, a 0.2 at 5.1 kilometers. And then right here, the Pack Trail Fire, we got another 1.7 at 4.4 kilometers. And this is really Snake River caldera that you see here. Got a 0.1. We will look, since Tiff's here, look at that negative 2 kilometers. Since Tiff's here, we will look at the geophones in Yellowstone. I have them right here. And that way we can see if they picked up anything off the coast. They're very sensitive, so it's really hard to say, hey, this happened in Yellowstone. I've seen them pick up earthquakes that happen in South America. We're going to be looking at this little area right here as soon as it populates, as it just has, and there's a little area we're looking at. If you take a look, these are always the most active in the northwest, like 1, 2, 5, 7, and 11. We'll take a look at 5. Quake. Not as active as you would think, right? We'll take a look at 11. if it's on, we can find it. Looks like it's off. It's off. They don't want you to see 11. We'll take a look at 7. Looks clean. We'll see if anything else looks bad. Looks like 20 had a big quake. 20. I just don't see 20 here, guys. It's my eyes, I know. 21. 28. '20 is way over here. And it did have a decent sized quake here. Probably picked up from yesterday, that big quake we saw. So Yellowstone's really not popping off. We're going to do another funsy. Geysers, geothermal. And if we have any new people that don't know what Geysers geothermal is, this is called Clear Lake Volcanic Range. The city of Clear Lake's here. This is Clear Lake, as in Clear Lake. These are volcanoes. This is Mount Cobb, one of 7 volcanoes that surround the lake. And I'll show you all a quick picture. What we do is, it's owned by Calpine Resources. And there's 19 drill holes. And I mean, you can't even get a good picture. Look, how many owns that picture? I can't even show it to y'all. I don't know why no one wants to see it. There's 2 rows of these now. There's not 1 row, there's 2 rows of them. This plant was built in 1927 with just 4. This is probably the original plant right here. Owned by Albany. They don't want you to see any of this shit. Now it's 2 rows and there's 19 different well sites. But they do, and this is only one row here. This is old too. I mean, they're not gonna let me see anything new. So what they do is they drill into the magma, the steam, because it's just under the surface, and they let the magma turn turbines, and the turbines are like a 10-speed bicycle. I can't believe they don't have a picture of the 19 turbines anymore. I'll show y'all one of the turbines. There's a museum there. These are the older turbines, if they still have a picture available of that even. There's 2 rows of these now, and each one of them is a drill spot, and they go in different directions. And what they do is they turn this, and it's just like a jet engine. It squashes it down and then speeds it up. Right, so coming in, the fan, if you will, is faced one direction, the slots of the fan, and then going out, they're faced the other direction. It works just like a 10-speed. It compresses it and then pushes out, just like a jet engine. And there's 19 of these, and there's 19 holes there. Now, regularly, there's about 20 or 30. I've seen 89 earthquakes. And if you work at the plant there, it must be a nightmare knowing that you're going to see earthquakes every day. There was a larger geothermal plant, and it actually melted. The very last guy got pulled off by a chopper as the platform melted. I saw the whole deal live. It scared, I think some of you guys did with me. Scared me to death. I mean, I'm talking about within minutes of the last last platform melting. I bet his boots were melted. Let's guess. I would not only like, if y'all want to, if y'all would work there, how much y'all work there for, and how many y'all think happened today right here at work today. This is just 24 hours. The red one's within the last hour. Yesterday it was really lit up because of all the activity with the 7.4 that was downgraded to a 7.0. And 52. I like 44. I like 44. I'm going to go 35. 35, and I want $450,000 a year. And then we're going to figure out how many there are here, guys. 35. Oh, no! I must be channeling Jerome. I hope I'm not. Oh, no. I used to get the exact number every night. And obviously we started this video. I started setting it up an hour ago. So I hope I'm not. You know what that means? There was a time when God was really on my side, and every time I would say a number, I knew it was the right number. Before I even saw it, I knew it was the right number. I'd like to get back there with God. I've had my distance for a while, and I'd like to get back there with God. Lake Tahoe is definitely a volcano, no matter what they tell y'all. That is Walker Lane Lake. Walker Lane's the next west coast, which is really the Sierra Nevada mountain range. That is Long Valley Caldera, spewing deadly gases on the backside of Mammoth Mountain while everyone skis for Thanksgiving. Deadly carbon monoxide and PM 2.5 that would kill someone. Now, where I ski, there's always a backside that no one's allowed to go on, but we always take the backside, right? And then we'll walk like 12 miles around to the deal. Well, here, if you take the backside, you die. It's probably too steep based on what it looks like, but there's also deadly gases. I can't believe they allow skiing so close to the deadly gases. You can see all the activity on the San Andreas fault here, San Joaquin Valley here. I've drilled 72 wells out there, so I know Californians very, very well. I love some of them and hate some of them. This all has to do with this fault right here. If you can see it, I can turn it on, but there's no need to. It's called the Garlock West, Garlock Central, Garlock East, and that's where, though this is the one of 4 breaks in the Western Hemisphere on plate tectonic boundaries, right here. And this is the Mexican-U.S. border right here. And so look, this is San Diego, this is Tijuana. That's the Salton Sea. This is the Sea of Cortez down here. You can see it's eating away. Mexican border right through here. And the plate stops connecting right here. And it starts again here. So all of this, right where they built Los Angeles, around 5 volcanic ranges, right? 5 of them. 5 different volcanic ranges. And all this is because most geologists believe that the new West Coast, and I will show y'all, and let me just show y'all real quick. Walker Lane transform fault, which could replace the San Andreas plate boundary in the future. Now, it used to say it would, but I started reporting on it, and everything changes as soon as I get on something, right? So they came in and changed that crap. This is actually one of my videos, still up on Rumble. My God, I'm so excited. It's up on Rumble. They took it down. This is me. I just know my work. I'm still number 3 up there. It cannot be played. Oh yeah, I'm there. It's me.
If you have saggy skin, don't eat bananas.
And look, Rumble!
So I decided to.
God, Rumble's got all those old videos from the ISS. I need to go over there and see if they have all that shit from the ISS. Look, I'm right here in the top 3 Walker Lane fault line deals. July 16th, 2024. On Rumble, there were no views. There were 20,000 views on YouTube, but YouTube made me take it down because I was right. That's why. I want to go see if those ISS ones are over there. Isn't that epic? That was epic. I won't lie to y'all. That was epic. All right. We're going to see something more epic. I can already see it working out here. So these are going to be above the mountain ranges in the area. I'm already guessing. Okay, 0.0 is not going to be above the mountain range at 1.3. Let's see if this one is. A negative 3.2. All right. So that one's going to be way above the highest mountain in that area. We'll go to Peakery. And you think I've done this before? Can you believe YouTube would take that down just because I was right? What a bunch of... you know what they are. I'm trying to be nice. Trying to be nice. Alright, I'll back up so I can see where I'm at. Alright. There it is up here. You can see it right here. So we're zooming in. We're going to start to get some actual heights. And I want to go back and show y'all where we are. Let's zoom in right here. Y'all can see this feature here and this here, right where it is. Try to remember where this is because we're about to see negative 3.2 kilometers. What is 3.2 kilometers? Watch. To feet, excuse me. Feet. I'm so sorry. To feet, it's 10,500 feet, right? Now watch. So, let me get my bearing. What we're going to do is use roads. That's how precise we'll be. All right. So this is going to be right there near Helper and Kellenworth, right? And that's 10,500 feet. Now let's go over to Peakery. And there's Helper and Kinsworth. 7,638 feet. That is the biggest in the area there. I'm up. There's 6,500 feet. There's 8,000. There's 8,700. I'm up still several thousand feet above with my earthquake, aren't I? Aren't I? So they call that an airquake, right? There was no earthquake. It was an airquake. I just wanted to show y'all. It's always interesting seeing an airquake. I knew by where it was going to be an airquake. Not an earthquake, an airquake. This is all fracking, guys, here. It's all fracking. This is them. That's in New Madrid. Right here, New Madrid. And then they have it a lot deeper depth here. 9.3 kilometers at 2.2, Cooter, Missouri. Did y'all like that? Hey, Miss Jama, great to see you. Wasn't that awesome? They don't know, even the USGS doesn't tell y'all about shit like that. But, you know me, I'm going to bring y'all right to it and tell y'all exactly how it's going to work. Alright, at 2.2, this is going to be, for sure, the main part of New Madrid's here, but this is right on the New Madrid right here. And I think that's about all she wrote. There's a new 4.2 out there by the U.S. Virgin Islands. I've been there. Lots of stuff going on in Puerto Rico, which is a volcano, no matter what they tell you. I just told you it was. And all the snow put out every single fire in Canada. You got to thank God for that snow and that ice. Because of that one factor, almost all of Canada was on fire this year. There are 0 fires currently. Good news. I don't foresee a lot of fires here in the U.S. either. I will say that. Wawa Springs, the biggest shield volcano in the world. Pack Trail incident. That's Yellowstone part of it, really. And we will zoom in. Remember, anything in orange, it's just too much snow. No fires. Let's see. There's a new fire right there in orange and red. Started today. No big deal. And then look, they put not only a red flag warning, they put a fire warning around this area here. Well, hell yeah, there's a fire warning around it because people roll around and set fires. That's the only reason. It's every single day, and when you move in a little bit closer, these are all fires that are burning from yesterday. These fires are out. That's the I-10 line incident, that bridge incident's out, but these other little fires here, they all started in the last couple of days. And then Kim Kardashian is up here in Lancaster and is it Palmdale? Palmdale here. These are all fires burning from yesterday, but everything in yellow and red started today. And they're always on highways because it's a bunch of stoners. Go ahead and put your joint out on your tongue. Just put some spit on your tongue and put it out on your tongue before you throw it out the window, please. In Texas, I mean, we have fires all the time on these major highways because of people throwing out cigarettes. Pisses me off. Now, the only other place you can see anything like this, there's no fires in any, you can go to any major city in the country. Go right here into San Fran, Oakland, shithole of the world, right? Right? Shithole of the world, no fires. But if I go to Boston, now LA and Boston are so much alike, right? They're probably two of the most liberal towns in the US, if not the two most. Let's see what happens. There's always a bunch of fires. These libtards love to start fires. That's all there is to it. And this isn't even a bunch for Boston. But I want to show that only you can go to any, let's go to a shithole like where does Mike live? Baltimore. Sorry, Mike. Let's go to a shithole like Baltimore. Not a single fire in that mofo, right? Let's go to another shithole like New Orleans, right? Go to New Orleans. There's a new fire on the coast over there. Zoom right into the biggest shithole. I used to live there. I can call it that. Not a fire in the whole damn city. Not from today or yesterday. I just think it's weird how only Boston and LA have fires. Is it me? For me, Christmas is about what I'm going to get. No, really. It's not. And Tiffany, are you not a member? You better get your membership quick. Because it's a members-only giveaway and I'm not going to remind everyone too much. God, look at this poor air quality here. This is all going to be in the valley on Sunday, December 22nd. I already have some really cool things picked out and put up for mailing here. And I'm going to find some more stuff. I've got a few days to go. Look at the air quality in the Central Valley, and let's hit this person's house here. 740, it's off the charts here. That would be deadly. That's, you walk out and you die. Looks like a meth, it's Fresno, so it looks like a meth lab blew up or something, right? I mean, that's about what you're dealing with. Bakersfield is big industrial. I've never seen the Central Valley like this before. Look at this shit. That's Sacramento there. I used to fly into Sacramento because it was cheapest. Wow. Look at that Central Valley. They must have had a couple of meth houses blow up or something. A bunch of meth heads over there is all it is. Trust me, I spent 6 years over there. I can speak towards it. Look at that air quality. Up here, I think that's BC, isn't it? British Columbia. Mugshoot Reservation. Looks like I'm going to have to get Dr. Joey in on that one and tell me, but is this going to be Portland, Oregon? Really bad air quality around Portland. No fires though. I don't know what's causing. It's going to have to be Seattle. Yep, it is Seattle. Really poor air quality. Just 10 parts per million, not 55 or 72. Increases your lung cancer percentage by 36%. Just 10 parts per million. There's no fires here. So I would think that what we're seeing here are volcanoes awakening, and the USGS is keeping everything under wraps. Nothing else could cause something like this, okay? Nothing. And this is probably the Sierra Nevada awakening, and maybe like Catalina here is a volcanic island. That's Catalina right there. I know Catalina is spewing PM 2.5, and then San Diego is also full. God, all the cities. Let's see what my air quality looks like. I'm doing pretty damn good over here. Dallas is not doing good. And this really stretches all the way through Georgia into South Carolina. The Central Plains are being hit pretty hard with bad air quality here. Remember, just 10 parts per million increases your lung cancer percentage by 36%. All right, what I will do is I'm going to show you all the PM 2.5, and then we're going to actually have Miss Teresa read. Let me show you all the PM 2.5, and then we'll continue with our show after we get a little Bible reading. It's about that time. If my old eyes can find the PM 2.5, what we'll do is we'll put it in motion. Every time I point something out of where it's coming from, they make a phone call, and Wendy changes everything up. It's true. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last. Now this is Bakersfield, and this is that area right here. Looks like it's coming off the ocean. These are all volcanic. Every island is a volcanic island, okay? Y'all need to realize that. And every volcano is not above sea level. A lot of them are below. Look at that valley. It's just today still. Look at that valley. It's going to get worse and worse. Remember, just 10 nanograms per meter cubed increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%. I say fence it and pour it in there. And then look at over here in Alabama. What could be going on in Alabama? Hey, God bless you. Thank you so much for the help with the channel, supporting the channel. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. Hey, I always read every comment you write. And I thank you for writing them. So look, what could be going on over here in Alabama? Does anyone know? NASA's up here. NASA's right here as well. I just don't know of anything that could be going on in Alabama to cause this kind of PM 2.5. Does anyone know? That is deadly, deadly, deadly PM 2.5, and that's just tonight. And then look, tomorrow, do y'all have a volcano over there that I don't know about? I'm being serious at this point. What could be causing PM 2.5 right here? Montgomery, I know it's a shithole. I've been there for a funeral, but it looks like it's north of Montgomery. I don't know what they're doing here. I've never seen anything like this in Alabama, and I've been looking at PM 2.5 maps too long. All right, we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep going, but let's let Miss Teresa read something to us from our Bible. It's coming to the end of the times, and I'm about to start exposing Trump for who he is, but I want y'all to not disassociate because I say something that you don't want to hear. Give me 6 months to explain it to y'all. You know, doing a couple of videos a week, and you will believe me as you do believe me on everything else, because I don't lie, okay? I just have more reach than everyone else. Can't really tell you why. But hey, everyone thinks I'm an operator, quote unquote. James is an operator. I'm an operator, all right, but for the good guys, right? You know, I was a Jesuit. I was a Catholic. I was a Jew. Hell, you know who I operate for? Jesus. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, James. It's Teresa.
I'm going to confess I am an operator like everyone's been accusing me, but I'm an operator for Jesus.
That's a good one.
They all tell me that I'm an operator, like as in CIA, and I give them what their my handlers want them to see. And you're right, my handler is Jesus. So I am going to expose Trump for what and who he is, but I'm not going to start that this week. We're going to get through Christmas, and then we'll start that. How's that sound? Miss Teresa always helps us. God gives her, I think, the gift of tongue or the gift of being able to read this so everyone can understand it. Because if I read it myself, I go away with nothing. But if I kick back and listen to her read it, I go away with everything. So, God made us meet somehow, right? Jesus made us meet somehow, and now she reads every night for us. And
There's no coincidences.
And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, he helps her open the book. And if the message is not for me tonight, that's fine. Someone here needs that message, right? I'm going to wait on you now, Miss Teresa.
Philippians 3.
Okay, how do we spell that?
Philippians.
The only one we've ever done is 3.
Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we'll go back to 2 or 1.
All right, I hate to
I
even
know
say
you've
that.
done 1 because I recognize that one. I got it marked. So we'll do 2.
I think it might have to do with, creases on the page or how opening the book.
It's an old book. It's hard to tell.
Who knows? But that's all my computer had on it. It didn't have 1 because I did clean the cache out about 6 months ago. So Philippians 2 NIV, guys. We used the NIV version, and hers is actually older and better than mine. So there are some differences, but they're pretty much the same. Mine starts, and I usually in imitating Christ's humility.
If you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from him and his love, if any fellowship with the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and purpose. Do nothing out of self-ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also the interests of others. Your attitude should be the same as that of Christ Jesus, who being in very nature God did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to death, even death on the cross. Therefore, God exalted him to the highest place and gave him the name that is above every name. That is the name of Jesus. Every knee should bow, in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Do everything without complaining, no arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God, without fault, in a crooked and depraved generation, in which you shine like stars in this universe, as you hold out the word of life, in order that I may boast on the day of Christ, that I did not run or labor for nothing, but even if I am being poured out like a drink offering on the sacrifice and service coming from your faith, I am glad to rejoice with all of us. So you too should be glad and rejoice with me. I hope in the Lord Jesus to send Timothy to you soon, that I may be cheered when I receive news about you. I have no one else like him who takes a genuine interest in your welfare. For everyone looks out for his own interest, not those of Jesus Christ. But you know that Timothy has proved himself, because as a son with the Father, he has served with me in the work of the gospel. I hope, therefore, to send him as soon as I see how things go with me. And I am confident in the Lord that myself will come soon. But I think it is necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother.
You okay?
That's a hard word.
Epaphroditus.
Fellow worker, fellow soldier, who is also your messenger, whom you sent to take care of my needs. For he longs for all of you, and it is distressed because you heard he was ill. Indeed, he was ill, and he almost died. But God had mercy on him, and not on him only, but also on me, to spare me sorrow upon sorrow. Therefore, I am all the more eager to send him, so that when you see him again, you will be glad, and you will have less anxiety. Welcome him in the Lord with great joy, and honor men like him, because he almost died for the work of Christ, risking his life to make up for the help you could not give me. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
I don't know who that guy is.
Who
That Epaphroditus died, but he
made you choke up?
Yeah, I didn't like his name.
To send you back to Epaphroditus.
Yeah, that was 25.
That must be someone bad, because he's sending you back because you've been bad, right?
Oh, no kidding. It made me hot and choked me up. So
Well, let's look it up.
I have physical symptoms with certain things.
That means you're in faith. Let's look it up. And who was in the Bible a messenger, co-worker, fellow soldier of Paul, who delivered the letter to the Philippines, to the church of Philippi?
So he was a representative from the Philippian church. So the Pharisees, they were, not good.
Well, we'll try another one. That's the name, was a missionary and an envoy of the Philippine church, first century. he is venerated as a saint by the Eastern Orthodox and, of course, the Roman Catholic Church. I told everyone, I'm a Jew, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Jesuit, but I'm none of those things. I was lucky enough to learn about each growing up and be a part of each growing up, and to say that I'm not interested in any of it growing up. As I grew up, I realized, right?
We learned it for a reason, didn't we?
Guys, I went at Loyola Law School. They were inviting me into the gang, if you know what I mean. And I told them to all go F themselves. Now, of course, I was hired by a big old company, and I already knew I had a job. But you know where I would be? I'd be like some kind of politician or something. Even worse, right? So I did tell them to go F themselves too, the Jesuits. Surprised I'm still walking the face of the earth. But it's all right. If it's meant to be, it will be, right? I was talking to Dan earlier today. I want to say happy birthday to Dan's son, if he's out there. It's his 22nd birthday, I believe. And
can you imagine being 22 again? Oh, good times. Good times.
Ignorance was bliss.
It sure was. I'm sending much love to everyone.
Hey, we love you so much. We will see you tomorrow for sure.
Okay, good night, honey.
I'm sorry if I always call too much, but you know, it's been a tough week.
You didn't call me today at all.
Everything is just in a standstill for me with this drone situation. I got to see your chicken parmesan last night, and today I didn't get a picture.
Oh, that was delicious. I haven't made that in a long time. That was really yummy.
That's pretty intense to make. I mean, as far as steps. I actually was, you don't believe this, a really good cook, but I would never cook again unless I got a maid again, a full-time living maid. I don't mind helping clean the dishes, but gosh, after you eat, it's so hard to look at the 400 dishes that need to be cleaned. So, you know me, guys. I'm an eater-outer. I want to thank Miss Teresa. I want everyone to give her a thumbs up in the chat and give the...
All praise and glory to God. Much love, everyone. Good night.
Thank you for your wonderful voice.
You're welcome.
All right. Lots of love to Miss Teresa. You know, everyone wanted me to pull up things. We decided that who knows what's going on over here in Alabama and Georgia. I mean, guys, there's no possible reason, unless there's a wildfire here, which there's not, unless there's a volcano here, which there's not. They did start up a nuclear power plant in Georgia. If drama's still on, I don't know where it is in Georgia. That's one of the 4 things that can cause this crap. A nuclear power plant. But this is heavy PM 2.5 here, guys, with 10 nanograms per meter cubed. Thanks, Dan. Lots of love. Lots of love, Dan. And you know what? You're always invited to my extra bedroom. If you ever need a break, it's probably, let's see. It's not as far as driving to Boston. I just don't. I think it's 14 total hours. I made it in one day, but even with my tinted windows, since it's the beach and the water on the left side, my entire left side was burned. The windows were up the whole time. Heavy tint on my windows. Heavy tint. I had to go to the hospital the next day because I couldn't figure out what was going on. True story. I drove from Tallahassee, Florida to my home, and I had to go to the hospital the next day because everything was just beat up. They said, well, that's sunburn. And I finally figured out that I had driven 12, 14 hours with the sun south of me beating down on the car all 14 hours during the summer. Even with the heavy tent, never rolled the window down. It went right through the tent, and I didn't know what it was. I thought I was dying. It was extensive sunburn, even with the heavy tent and the windows up, because I guess it gleams off the water. I don't know. All right, let's see what we got going. We got 100-mile-per-hour plus winds coming here, so it's going to be a rough winter. This is the coldest. My parents down at the beach house in Biloxi, they got 31 degrees tonight. It's never been 31 degrees. They got it in November too. Again, until January or February, we've never seen this kind of weather. Now, the jet stream is taking it a little bit further to the east and then taking it right back up into Iowa, into Pennsylvania. So it's dropping here. It used to drop right about through Houston and then come back up slower. And Florida never got touched. And now it's coming down really sharp through, and I can show y'all temperatures in a second. But it's coming down really sharp and then going straight back up through Iowa, Pennsylvania, and into New York. We're going to put these storms in motion. And this is going to be 120 mile per hour plus. There were several typhoons. I guess typhoons is what they call them. That hit Taiwan. Typhoon Taiwan. Another 100 mile per hour. They're all spinning what? Counterclockwise, which means they're all what? Subtropical lows, or really hurricanes with 120 mile per hour winds. Now, I will say that they've moved north. They're actually making landfall in Alaska like they used to, and making landfall in BC, and then working their way down in through the Central Plains. It's like Miss Teresa could have some things to watch out for Sunday through Wednesday here. And then look at the Gulf Coast here and the East Coast. I mean, guys, we're talking about a situation that's just not right. We got 50 miles an hour all over the Gulf Coast everywhere you go, and all over the East Coast everywhere you go, right? Everywhere you go. That's a front that's going to push through. I don't think, now I might be wrong, I don't think it's going to create tornadic activity. I might be wrong on this one, because I'm about to show y'all why. They're doing some weather works right now, and you know what I mean. Let me show you what they're doing. So I'll show you what I found earlier. They're doing something out of Nicaragua here, but wait, it gets worse. Remember we found that weather station right here? Well, look at the weather off of, and what is that? Guantanamo Bay. Now, why, if we're not allowed to go to Cuba, why do we have our, look at that, look, y'all saw it? Y'all saw it? Look, I want y'all to watch. Look. And then this, it gets worse, I'm just starting. You see the lines? So that is Guantanamo Bay here. Why have they always, look, I'm sure Into Thin Air will steal it by morning as usual, right? Into Thin Air. You've called me. Why don't you call and we'll co-op on something instead of you steal my shit all the time, right? It got ridiculous on that last steal, right? You had to screenshot me and put me in a square, put my work. I was up at 3 a.m. doing it. You acted like it was your work. That was lame. But y'all can see it right there. But what else is interesting is, remember, and wow, remember I proved that Willemstad Island here, and watch this beam here coming out. It's only going to be for, there it is. Did you see it? Willemstad Island has a huge ULF, ELF radar. Did you see it again? You see it again? And it shoots it right into this area. It's almost like they're trying to start another storm here, right? See it right there? And then look at this signature. And then we have the signature coming out of Guantanamo with the lines. And into thin air, I've seen you steal my shit 3 or 4 times. That's where the squares, I realize where it came from, okay? I know you're not up at 3 a.m., 3:30 like me. At least give credit where credit is due. Come on, man. Getting a little bit too big for your pantsies. Wansies, right? I've been doing this before you were born, son. All right. I know Dan, you're friends, and he's contacted me and been very nice, and we're friends. That's why I don't like when they steal shit and don't give people credit for it. But tomorrow, everyone's going to be talking about this. And look at Jamaica just lighting up here. Just lighting up, ladies and gentlemen. So they've created, look. Now I'm going to update this. We might lose all that, but y'all did get to see it. Look, it's even worse now. It's even worse. It's even worse. Remember, into thin air. World News Report today. James Kaufman. When you steal it tomorrow morning when you wake up, okay? And you're welcome to email me. You already have emailed me, and we can do one show together. Maybe I'll interview you. Something fun. All right. Let's see what else we've got going on. Now, we know the radar stations because I pulled up Google Maps and I showed y'all the radar station here, showed y'all the radar station here. Obviously, there's one here we won't go into. And then I showed it to y'all at Wilmstad, where see that band? Look at that. Watch it now. Watch it now. I can show all 3 of them to y'all again. Look at this. Watch it go off. See if it still goes off because we've updated it now. We don't want to go that slow. We'll do the rabbit speed. The rabbit speed, right? All right. I don't see that that line as defined as it was, but we can still see that line. I can bring you back and I can show y'all the Doppler it's coming from. Of course, I showed y'all the 2 weather stations and Dopplers here. That looks legit, doesn't it? Not. So it looks like, and they also have one right here, another station right here, which is crazy how close it is to Havana. But we're supposed to hate Cuba, and Cuba hates us. So I think they're trying to maybe pull off another tropical storm, or we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Adrian Campbell, Merry Christmas, sir. Happy New Year. Lots of love. Is that Adrian Campbell from Oz? Adrian from Oz. I saw him doing the same thing in Oz, and I wanted to cover it. They've been manipulating the weather over Oz, guys. I call Oz Australia. That's just what I call it, right? So I caught him just this week, Adrian, manipulating the weather with their ELF and ULF, ultra low frequency and extremely low frequency ELF. That's how they manipulate the weather now. It's really not hard to understand. That's how smart bombs and smart missiles operate. They shoot out 5 and 6G. Well, that's what we have now. Probably 10G is what the military's using. They shoot out 5 and 6G, and it bounces back and tells them what floor of the building all the moving parts are on, i.e. the people. So up in Washington State, we've got big freezes, and we've got some of the worst air quality, which we don't have any fires up there. So I just can't understand. Here we have terrible air quality. We saw that in the Central Valley here. And we have, this is a extreme weather alert here. Well, it's a yellow fire warning. We've got fires, but what's causing all of this? This is extremely bad for your health. Air, see what they call it. Air stagnation, air quality alerts. Air stagnation, air quality alerts. What is causing this? I don't know. I wish I did. Take a look at the next 3 days here. Let's take a look at Oz for our boy. Let's go down to Oz. Let's get a fun one. They've been manipulated. We'll do 2 down there in Oz. Now, if y'all thought y'all had it rough, whew, look at the southern hemisphere, right? And this is not even as bad as I've seen it. And then you move up to the northern hemisphere. This is the worst I've seen in the northern hemisphere, for sure. For sure, the very worst. Over 100 mile per hour there. All right, let's see what Oz has got going on here, guys. I'm gonna put it in motion. Looks like Madagascar is gonna get hit hard. I believe Adrian lives right about where my hand is here. And that's a guess. If I'm wrong, let me know. North, south, east, west. And look at this hitting over here. These are very, very powerful storms. And they're spinning clockwise. But it's the southern hemisphere. So they're low level, i.e. tropical storms. It's summertime in the southern hemisphere, right? It's not winter. You have to keep thinking through this. And here we're looking at 100 mile per hour winds about to hit. Madagascar is getting nailed, completely nailed. Now we'll go to just radar, because this is where I saw some things I didn't like. And I can't guarantee anything's happening right now, but look, all this irregular lightning here. Let's see if they do. Let's see if they've got the brown shit. See the little puddles of brown? Look, oh no! Oh no! Look! Oh my gosh, Adrian Campbell, they're doing it to you. See the black turning into brown? What did I teach y'all about the black turning into brown? The black is when they lay down the barium and silver nitrite, and then when the moisture goes over it, there's no thunderstorms here. When the moisture goes over it, it turns to brown. It's kind of like pooping out. The black, look at the electricity. This is how they create storms. Exactly. And then they're doing it everywhere. I couldn't believe it. Even down here, you can see, wow. All I can say is, wow, look at the irregular lightning. Easy to see. It's pooping the brown stuff. The black stuff's pooping the brown stuff. Y'all are having heavy weather manipulation down in Oz. He probably got cut off because Oz doesn't want him to see this. I'm surprised we can even get away with it, right? Y'all see how heavy this shit is? Look at that. Black turns to brown. Yeah, I saw that. I did cover that for you guys tonight. Y'all are my friends up there. I'll cover it again right now. This is for Adrian. Look at what they're doing to Oz. This is some of the worst weather manipulation I have ever seen. Look at all the irregular lightning, and these are causing huge thunderstorms. I don't know if y'all have tornadic activity there or not. I don't see how high would meet a low. God, they have done it all. Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, watch the black turn to brown. And if it gets inside a radar loop, you'll see that it's really a storm. Look, this is not even a storm, no rain, but that black turns into heavy lightning, and then it poops out the brown, right? I will look at the UK right now, guys. I wanted. We're not going to pole flip yet. We're moving at 45 to 55 miles a year, and we're about to go over. If you want to see one of my best videos I've done, let me see if I can find it, because everyone needs to see this one. We're about to go over one of the biggest calderas in the world with that pole flip, magnetic pole. I'm going to have to make this bigger real quick. Here it is. All right, we are going to watch this video. We're going to watch this video, but first off, I want to give it to y'all so you can share it. Share it with your friends. But watch this. They're hiding all my videos. I used to do 7,000 to 9,000 views an hour. Now, if I get that in a half a day, I'm lucky. So they hate me because I know too much. You want the truth? That's fine. I'm used to it by now. This is for the pole flip people.
James Kaufman, World News Report today, October 20th.
This is recent.
2024.
1 month ago.
No matter where you are in the world, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. What happens when the magnetic North Pole hits the Geopolitical supervolcano just south of the North Pole?
Yes, I know several people have stolen it from me.
Until 1999.
I saw it.
That supervolcano.
It's because I use URLs in my description.
Geopolitical supervolcano. It's on the Geopolitical volcanic ridge here at the very end.
It's already there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our magnetic North Pole headed directly at it, and it very well might get there in 2025.
Watch where it really is. I'm about to show
There's
you.
a massive 80-kilometer long and 40-kilometer wide depression in the seafloor. It formed during one of the planet's largest explosive eruptions. This depression is called the Geopolitical Ridge caldera.
That's it right
It's
there.
one of the largest known calderas on the planet.
Straight shot.
Due to the young age of this caldera, it could potentially erupt again in the near-term future.
What are you saying,
It
Michael?
would be best
In the
classified
house.
as an active volcano.
Where you been, my friend?
Now, this is the Geopolitical Ridge here, and this is the Geopolitical supervolcano.
Ooh, I'm getting fancy.
Caldera right here. And I'm about to show you a more recent plot of
You're not going to like where this is headed.
has moved to.
Tell me what happens.
Doesn't look good.
Tell me what happens.
Geopolitical Ridge caldera, also known as Geopolitical caldera, is a volcanic caldera located on the Geopolitical Ridge beneath the Arctic Ocean off the north coast of Siberia.
No, it's coming out of
1.1
airplanes.
million years ago,
Airplanes.
a speck of time, with an estimated
Argo.
eruption volume of 3,000 kilometers cubed. This eruption places it at VEI 8 on the Volcanic Explosive Index.
Whoa.
One of the most explosive volcanoes
Listen.
on Earth, along with Yellowstone caldera and Lake Toba.
It's there.
It is the only known supervolcano located directly on the mid-ocean ridge.
That's it right there.
As you can see, our magnetic pole appears to be on a collision
It's
course
much
with this
closer.
volcano and could reach the location as soon as 2025.
When do you see my
Now,
update?
this map has flipped, and this is the location here in 2020. You can see by 2020, our magnetic north had already reached.
And this is the caldera here.
Ridge, located right here.
2020.
Of course, this is the Geopolitical volcanic ridge, and this is the Geopolitical supervolcano.
Straight on, baby.
Here. Here's a look at the Lomonosov Ridge here. We know that by 2020, the magnetic pole
Was already there.
well, about this location here.
And
This is
that's
the Geopolitical Ridge, and the supervolcano is located here at the end. just off the coast of Siberia.
Only the best work here.
Now, until the early 1990s, the magnetic North Pole was known to lie some 1,000 miles south.
When do you see how fast
Canada.
it's moving?
Yet the scientists realized
That's 10 to 20, and it's sped up.
Fixed.
It's already 25, so it's in this area here.
9 miles a year since the 1990s. However, the drift of Earth's magnetic North Pole has turned into more of a sprint, scientists say. Its present speed is about 30 to 40 miles a year, or 50 to 60 kilometers a year towards Siberia. So here we were in 2020.
This is Siberia.
Here is the supervolcano right here, Gaggle.
So we're right about here.
And you can imagine over the last 4 years exactly how far the pole has advanced. Now, I cannot tell you what might happen when the magnetic North Pole hits this huge supervolcano, but I can tell you that this, in fact, will happen sooner rather than later based on all available information.
This could be what they're worried about.
We'll take a look on Google Maps.
There's Gaggle,
in 2020,
supervolcano.
magnetic North was here.
2020.
And it's been moving at 30 to 40 miles a year for the last 5 years. And this is
2025.
Gaggle Caldera.
I
It's
put a
also
scale
related.
on it.
This is a volcanic ridge, the Gaggle Volcanic Ridge. Now, I can't guarantee what will happen when our magnetic north reaches this. It looks like it will reach it.
Please share this video.
At some point. I don't know if it will erupt.
Please share the
or if
video.
It will just pass over this very large volcano. But I did want to bring this up and make sure everyone understood what was going on. Our magnetic North Pole will be moving over a supervolcano that is considered active at some point in 2025 and at the latest in 2026 unless it takes a hard turn. And please remember, just because it's an underwater volcano doesn't mean it couldn't be a planet killer. Scientists are secretly worried about this. They're trying to keep this hush quietly, but I guess we'll all know sooner rather than later.
Argo, the brown is what is left over after. See the brown? That's the byproduct of the heavy metals. Silver dioxide, barium. They tell you what's in them. I did a report. Some lady tried to take me off her webpage. So, look, I did a report also on the budgets for weather manipulation for the U.S. government and the Air Force, National Science Foundation, and I actually come up with every budget for every year. And they say National Science Foundation, all right. What would I put on instead of manipulation? Weather modification. Trying to get through there. Boy, they took that one down too. Just if anyone cares, oh, it's got to be Gov. It might work. Gov. Here is the full report. You can see I've been through them all. These are the National Science Foundation full reports on the yearly budgets, a FOIA request, CIA, weather modification, 2022. This is actually a 100 and something page report, and I bring you to each page. I don't know what I named it. It's not loading very quick. It is hundreds of pages. it goes through their budgets since 1948. It talks about 24 Air Force bases around the country. They're equipped to, look how slow it's, I'm going to give y'all the link, because they're not liking this at all. I was hoping on look, that's the one that Thin Air stole from me. Here. No, those are 3 weather machines. I got mad because the lady told me that there was no weather manipulation. Owns the deal. So what I did, look, another one. Quit stealing from me, people. You damn thieves. God, they took it down? These people are so wacky. I know that it was not too long ago because I did it special for her. And that was all of them. They took it down. Anyway, here is the PDF. Their dates, their budgets, expected budgets. They hate me. They hate me. But you know what? Too fucking bad. Y'all can pull that up quicker than me because they got me locked down to nothing, right? Let me just see. Weather Wars. One of these might be it, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with giving y'all the actual NSF report with the budgets. I can't believe what they're doing. So the brown is actually the after effect. I've been doing this, guys, for so many years. 35 years oil and gas law. 5 years busting the government, and there's some other things in there that I can't speak about, but I'm under an NDMA, non-disclosure agreement, so NDNA, excuse me. So that's how I know when I see irregular lightning. These are actually coming from planes. They're not coming from spacecraft. I don't even know if we have satellites, okay? There's been no proof to me that we have satellites thus far. And I don't think there's been proof to anyone. I know the Gen Zers, the young kids, it's kind of like my dad. He thought we went to the moon before I showed him that the Van Allen belts were 64 million degrees, right? I said, well, how did our diamond would be the hardest? We've got one substance harder than diamond. I did forget the name. But even if the spaceship was made of diamonds, the melting degrees is right around 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. When it gets up to 74,000 degrees Fahrenheit, how does it make it through all 3? Not one valent belt. There's 3, by the way. How do we make it through with a little tinfoil? Y'all probably, if y'all know me, y'all know the story. I went to the Space Museum, and the police and my father had to help me out. And it's because I couldn't quit laughing. Y'all don't realize on the Apollo missions, there weren't 3 people. There were 4 people in that capsule. It's about as big as my studio here. I'm thinking food, poop, weeks, 225,000 miles, then orbiting the moon, then a perfect connection, and then coming back 225,000 miles. That's the closest approach of the moon for the year, right? I mean, that's if they did it right. It goes as far as 235,000 miles. I know we made it 1 mile up. The planes, what's funny is the planes, they fly at about 35,000 feet, which is about 7 miles. But when you see the ISS come over, it's supposed to be 250 miles up, but it's 800 times bigger than any 747. I live 20 miles from an airport. I've filmed them both. YouTube took it down. Since Rumbo's got all my old shit, I wonder if they've got all my old shit. That would be epic if they've got all my ISS. I don't think there is an ISS. I truly don't. I think there might be something with balloons on it. Here we go into... Boy, they're about to get hit really hard. Dr. Joey. If Dr. Joey's still in the house, tomorrow is going to be hell in the valley where you're at. Dr. Joey's in the valley there that says heavy snow possible and freezing rain possible on top of the mountains. I mean, he's in a terrible spot. Oregon, mixed precipitation in blue. And then Tiffany Hartman. Look at New York. They're calling it a high pressure front. But it's, look, the high pressure front, it's coming from the east. This is going to be the first high pressure front to ever in my 7 years on this planet to come from the east. This will be number one. Numero uno. Numero uno to come from the east. Wow. Sunday looks even more so awful. I hope this heavy flash flooding does not get around me. We can see that Tiffany's still got mixed precipitation over here. We've got intense freezing rain possible. This is mixed precipitation all the way through here. Heavy snow in Colorado. Dr. Joy, if you're still with me, you know I'm watching for you. I know exactly where your house is too. So today you were okay. Some rain. Tomorrow you could get FUCK'd. I think you're a little bit south, but not really. You're in that valley right there, just south of Rainier and just north of St. Helens. I've seen the pictures outside. And look, they're calling this a high. How do I know they're calling it a high? Because it's blue. It's blue. High. Lie. Remember, high pressure fronts spin what? They spin clockwise. Low pressure fronts in the northern hemisphere until our poles flip, which happens every 3,600 years. And I think we're there. I think we're almost down to the last year, actually. And I have done more research than anyone. Low pressures, they spin counterclockwise. These are all low pressures, as I proved to y'all. But they're calling this a high. What's so wacky is they're calling this a high, too. Never seen a high pressure front approach from the northeast. This is like the number one time I've ever seen this. And remember, I'm almost 57 years old in a month or so, okay? And I watch. It don't happen. Let's not believe me. Let's instead go to von Braun, who ran the rocket program for NASA, right? During the Apollo missions, he died with $100 million in 76. Let's see what his tombstone says. Von Braun is a scientist from Nazi Germany that we brought over with us. He was their number one rocket scientist, and he ran all the rockets. He one time was quoted as saying it would take 5 rockets the size of the Empire State Building just to get to the moon. more or less back, right? That's what he was quoted as saying. It was much easier to fake it. It took me about 2 years to just watch. Vaughn, and look, I already have it pulled up. Bronze tombstone. They don't want me to show you all this, I know. I can't believe they took down my National Science Foundation shit. That really pisses me off. I don't even know what that is over there going on. Alright, let's see what he put on his tombstone. Well, we're going to have to go with him, right? Look, they don't want y'all to see this no matter what. It's so weird. There it is. Look, so we can go to images so you know all of them are the same. All of them are the same. Werner von Braun. That's the director of NASA. Psalms 19:1. This is someone making fun. Psalms 19:1. That, you want me to tell you what Psalms 19:1? The rocket engineer who created the V2 rockets had a Bible verse on his gravestone. Out of all the verses, he chose 19:1. And the firmament showeth his handiwork. Yes, that's what he said. He couldn't get, and look, imagine dying with $100 million, and that's all you wanted on your tombstone. Psalms 19:1. That's it. Y'all can look it up. And his handiwork showeth, or was shown by the firmament. And he knew he could never get through it. Just like Elon, Psalms 19:1. Psalms 19:1. Just like Eli knows, but Eli's a liar. Eli's a big slush fund for CIA, FBI, and 5 Eyes, 14 Eyes. I wish I still had all my old videos I put for y'all together. It's sad that they can't stand the truth, can they? Can't stand the truth. Any other questions? It went to the bottom of the sea, like the rest of the rockets. Don't buy your ticket anytime soon, Aurora. And we are taking cups of coffee. I don't think I've gotten one from anyone for the plethora of knowledge I offer everyone. It's funny. I see y'all give coffee and super chats to other channels that don't know a thing, but when it comes down to really knowing everything, it's like y'all expect me to do it, right? So someone wanted to see the Schumann resonance. Of course, I'll pull it up for you. 7-day comparison. I need to teach y'all about the Schumann resonance. It's not some kind of ascension situation, okay? All this is lightning, and the reason the Schumann resonance has increased from 37 hertz, the highest it's ever been in 2017, to now over 200 hertz, is because our atmosphere is collapsing while our poles flip. And so let me show you what I mean by that, okay? D-E They don't want me to show you all that. Did I catch it? Did I catch it? I think I caught it. I'm a hacker too. Of course I'm a hacker, right? I caught it. I got him. Hold on. Let me get it all worked out again. I'm about to show y'all more than y'all want. tell them, ha ha, they didn't want y'all to hear any of this. Yep, they're being tough. We got them, no problems. Can y'all believe them? I believe. All right, let me teach y'all about the Schumann resonance, okay? It's going to be easiest with an image. And I can bring y'all right to the right image. And this is it right here. All right, this is the Schumann resonance and why it increases. You're not ascending. That's just, do you see people acting like they're smarter, more intelligent, ascension in any kind, spiritually, physically in any way? No, you don't. You don't. You know what's going on here? You'll never see the Schumann resonance spike if there's space weather, because all of a sudden our F layer pops up. Our F layer pops up. Stop! You know what I'm doing. So you're just after those prizes. I'm kidding. So look, this is our ionosphere. Our F layer is our outer ionosphere. There's an F1, F2, F3, E1, E2, E3. So what happens is if there's no space weather, the E and F layers disappear, and I can actually show you all that too. Once I figured out what was going on, I found 1,000 scientific papers that went over what I am showing y'all right now. So there's no ascension. There's no ascension going on. These blue, our shields are up. Pink, our shields are down here, right? Down. It looks like we got hit by a little plasma. A little. So what happens is when our shields are up, the F layer is up. And so when lightning occurs, what it does is it goes up and bounces off the F layer and then comes back down to the geophones and is registered. That's why the Schumann resonance never went over 37 hertz until 2017, when the F layer started to disappear, which right now we're seeing space weather, believe it or not, a little bit. So the F layer is up. You'll see that when there's no space weather, or when there is space weather, you'll never, ever, ever see a Schumann spike. One is not, they're inversely related. So then what happens is the lightning bounces off the E layer, but it's not there either. Our atmosphere is disappearing as our poles flip. It will all disappear. Expect winds up to 1,000 miles an hour. Expect floods to come over the U.S., etc. What it does do is it bounces off the D region, D layer, and then since it doesn't travel very far, it returns to the geophones and the sensors at more velocity and more power than ever before. And each year, that's why each year the Schumann resonance is higher. Each year we lose more and more atmosphere. We lose more and more atmosphere each year. So that's why y'all have seen the Schumann resonance go from 37 to 100 to 120 to 150 to 200, now to 290, I think. Because we're dealing with the D region. All this has disappeared. Now, we'll say the F and E layers do appear if we're being hit by space weather. Think of it like a callus on your foot. If you don't walk or jog for a long time and you go for a really long run, you're going to have blisters. But if you walk and run every day, you're going to get a callus on your foot. Well, we don't have that callus right now. And these disappear if there's not a lot of space weather. And they're always inversely related. So what we're doing is the agitator, is what I call it, happens in the troposphere, which is always going to be the same thing. Always going to be lightning. That's our agitator. It turns around, bounces off the D layer, returns to the geophones, and each year it's stronger and stronger and higher, and the dumb people think that they're ascending, but all they have to do is look around and look at the wars and look at the thievery and what's going on in their countries and what's going on around the world. And you must realize we haven't been ascending since 2017. I would argue just the opposite. We've been descending. Everyone thinks we're headed to 5G. Well, they're reading everything wrong. This is a scientific read on things. This is the facts. I know ignorance is bliss. I already know that. I think it's so funny. Pretty much me and my ex-wife got divorced because I was not teaching her this, but I'm very loud in my studio and she could hear it. And she kept wanting to stay ignorant. Now she's just the opposite. Now she like watches a channel and comes to figure out what's going on, and she's grasping for knowledge, right? But at the time, ignorance was bliss, plus, I was making $500,000 to $2 million a year, right? So anyway, what we're seeing is the agitator bounce off the D layer, return to the geophones and sensors at a much higher intensity and pace, and that's what shoots the Schumann resonance up on all these measurement systems that we see. Period. I guess y'all get that, right? That's why you don't see anything going on. You know why? Anytime there's anything going on, if there's a thunderstorm over this station right now, there would be a Schumann resonance. Well, there might not be because our shields are up. But if they weren't, there would always be a huge spike. And I've checked it over 1,000 times, and it's not a hypothesis. I found over 10,000 papers written on the same subject, and it's a fact, Jack. It's a fact, Jack. So now y'all know more than anyone in America about the Schumann resonance. Pretty much. I'm just letting y'all know. It's my job, right? All right, stove in the house. Appreciate your tip. Appreciate all the tips, all the coffees. And if anyone thinks it, you won't be noticed if you buy a cup of coffee. The whole studio lights up red and you'll hear it. It's very, very loud. So buy us coffee, give us super tips, and we'll keep throwing the truth. I will be taking Trump down starting in January, because I can't have y'all put all your faith into a man until you know the truth about this man and where he came from, his bloodlines, his parents, his everything. Y'all need to know everything. Do y'all know that his penthouse in Trump Tower is on the HUD? It's a housing urban development. It's number 666. The problem is the building's only 58 stories. The other problem is the HUD says that his penthouse is 33,000 square feet. Not 33,004, not 33,001, 33,000 square feet. And if I showed y'all who's over the fireplace, not his family, not his grandfather, who did marry into Mary Magdalene's bloodline on purpose. He's also from the fallen angels bloodline, which is William the Conqueror and Torolo, all the way back to the fallen angels in Egypt. And I've been able to trace almost all that, as you guys know. And that explains why Barron is so tall, real quick, right? Just FYI, if y'all haven't figured it out, now y'all have. If I show you who's above his fireplace, it's Horus. It's Horus. That's who's above his fireplace in his penthouse. Let me prove it to y'all real quick, okay? Let me prove it to y'all. Trump's Fifth Avenue house. Let me prove it to y'all. Now, see if they give me a good one. See if they give we'll be able to see a horse through this one. There's something on every one of them I can show y'all, and I did the video, but they took it down. All right, you can't tell, but this is Apollo. We'll get a better picture here. This is Apollo and Apollo's twin sister here. Apollo is Horus. Apollyon is Horus. Watch this. Greek equivalent or Roman equivalent of Horus. Horus is the god that lost their left eye, like they took my left eye for doing what I'm doing. I have zero sight left. Zero sight left in my left eye because I do what I do. But you know what? I've got to do what I do. If not me, Horus. Right? Now let's see. Horus is the grandson, also the reincarnation of Osiris, the son of Osiris and Isis, reincarnation of Osiris, and let's see if it says let's just go into pictures. It's just so much easier, right? Pictures, images, watch. See if they got a good one for y'all. Greek god, Roman god, those aren't far enough back. Don't worry, we'll get it. Relax. If I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be right, okay? That's why they cover their eye, just so you guys know. The ones that don't know, some of them cover their right eye because they're just ignorant. They're trying to cover their left eye, the all-seeing eye on your dollar bill, because they all worship Horus, who lost his left eye, killing his uncle Set, right? Killing his uncle Set. Lost his eye in the battle, known as the solar god, son of Osiris and Isis. Really a reincarnation, but when I tell you something, you can take it to heart. All right, I'm going to do it the easy way. Horus is Apollo. It came up before I even typed it in. Let's see if they'll tell y'all. We might have to use another search engine nowadays. These people are so screwball. Horus Apollo program. This is even scarier. See all the left eyes? They took my left eye. Apollo. See if we can get this any bigger. They're trying to hide all they do, but I won't let them. Can't even read that shit, can you? Can't even read it. Here's Apollo, Apollyon, number 1. But what I want to do is show y'all that. Greek name, Roman game, notes. I want to show you all that Horus is, this might be it, Greek name, Roman name, attributes. So, maybe they're not going to let me show y'all, but, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, it's seahorse over here, right? Give me 1 second, guys. I hate for y'all to go unfinished. Most of you guys have already seen this because look, they stop at a horse. Those are all the Roman gods. Ooh, they're being ugly. Ooh, they're being ugly. See if horse is in here. There's Apollo, which is really horse's name. That's the Greek and the Roman name. Horse is an original fallen angel. You can see, let's see. Can y'all believe it used to be so easy to prove this? They're nothing but trash. The Eye of Ra. I am the truth. You're right. Rick Roman roll. All right. And we'll go into the, if they're not going to give it up easy anymore, we'll go into everything. I'll just prove it. It pisses me off. It'll say it here, I'm sure. So Horus, I can give you all the whole story. I have it memorized. Upper Egypt, Pharaoh, Osiris myth, Set, killed his Set, lost his left eye. Let's see. What time is? And here's Ra, the original fallen angel. Here is Osiris and Isis, their brother and sister. They married their Set, who Horus killed. And I guess they're not going to let me prove that Horus is Apollo. This is a great thing for y'all to read if you want to read anything. I can see what it says. Look, the Greeks identified him as Apollo. Finally. And then the Romans, Apollyon. Just so you guys know. Can y'all believe I had to go that far to find it? They're trying to hide all their misdeeds. They sacrifice children. That's their thing, man. Can y'all believe I finally found it? Damn, people. Damn. And it's the Roman god of Apollyon, which I'm not going to look for anymore. If y'all can't make the jump between Apollo and Apollyon, well, let's see who's over Trump's fireplace. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a good picture so y'all don't have any doubts. Any doubts about what's going on. That's the picture up there. Not his family. Boy, they're cutting everything out. They're trying to YouTube won't even let me put this stuff down. They're trying to not allow me and anyone else to expose Trump. That's the picture of Apollo and his twin sister right there. And these used to be everywhere. There's the picture right there. They got to put them all four together so I can't get to one of them, right? How about why would Trump, here, this is one that will help y'all. Why would Trump have Apollo led by his sister Charlotte by Aurora here in his fireplace? That's the chariot of Apollo, which is Horus, by the way. Look where the family portrait is. It's down the fucking hall, right? These are two Roman or Greek vases. I mean, you can't get any older than Greek vases. I wonder what the value of those things are. What was that, 3,000 BC? And this is Apollo led by Charlotte. I believe his sister is Aurora. And they're both, well, they're really great-grandchildren of Ra, the original fallen angel. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I know. But we're going to start exposing him before they take it all away, because I can see that they're going to take it all away now. And I won't let it happen. I won't let it happen. The whole thing is a shit show. The whole apartment. Again, it's number 666. Someone has gone through. I had some of the best videos ever done on this. But, obviously, I am at the will of YouTube. If y'all think Trump is your savior, you better figure out who he worships. Better figure out who he worships and why he worships them and what they do. What worshipers of Horus do. It's a shit show. I think I finally found the Greek. And then Romans came along next, in case y'all didn't know. I'm not going to go crazy and look for it anymore. But that was Apollyon, not Apollo. So with that said, I got to get to work, man. It's 1:30. Trump's grandfather went and married the last descendant of Mary Magdalene. Her name was Mary Christ, and she was being hidden by the Knights Templar in Ireland. And he has both bloodlines in him. He has the fallen angel through William the Conqueror, Rollo, and all the giants past him. I'll prove it tomorrow. And then he has Mary Magdalene's bloodline, i.e. Jesus' mother, that bloodline too, through the marriage with his grandfather and Mary Christ. Who is Mary Christ? Boy, I know way fucking too much for my damn good, I can tell you that. Mary Mother Jesus. Y'all don't even want to know. Watch this. Elizabeth Christ Trump. There she is, the last known descendant right from Mary Magdalene. Frederick Trump, his grandfather, went and got her. She was at the Knights Templar Castle, and he paid big bucks to him, and they thought he was a good guy. But he knew what he was doing. She passed in 1966. But that is, Trump is a descendant of Mary Magdalene. So he's the only one I've ever seen with both bloodlines. Very, 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 very scary. So So we'll go over all this. We'll learn together. I'll relearn, and y'all learn for the first time. But it's good that at least y'all are listening. God bless you guys. Hey, please make sure to give us a thumbs up. It's real important for the algorithm, since YouTube hates me and all. And buy us a cup of coffee if you can. Please share our videos. Always remember that anything is possible. Anything is possible that you put your mind to here in Bizarro World. God bless all of you.